Welcome to this crash course on AI creativity. The first place we're going to start is understanding how to use the most common AI tool called ChatGPT. To work with ChatGPT, all you need to do is know what you want. If you want to create an image in ChatGPT, you can. All you do is type it in like this: create an image of a dog eating fish. Hit enter, and you're going to get your image in a few moments. Now, this same prompt can be used in a lot of other AI tools, and I'm going to demonstrate that for you all throughout. The dog eating the fish is going to be an example in a lot of these AI tools. Let's wait for a few more seconds for this image to render. And there's your image of the dog eating fish. And this is one of the simplest uses of ChatGPT. Don't forget that as a creative, you can have ChatGPT write you a story about this. So you could say, write me a story about a dog who caught a fish and ate it. And ChatGPT knows that this sounds like a rather elementary story. So it's going to probably create a very short story that won't last too long. If you ask it for more serious stuff, it goes even further, creating more drawn out stories. And as you can see, ChatGPT is suggesting, if you want, I can turn this into a children's picture book, a more humorous cartoon style story, a dramatic cinematic narration, a poem or song, or a Suno ready lyrical story. Just tell me the style. So it's ready to help you, but you got to know what you want, okay? With that said, let's take this dialogue over to the next tool in creativity. It's Sora. Sora.com is also owned by OpenAI. It's used to generate images and used to generate video. And I'm going to show you an example right now. All you need to do is right here in the chat, paste in whatever you want or type in whatever you want. I copied the prompt from the previous page, create an image of a dog eating fish. You have the ability to select a square image, 3 by 2 or 2 by 3 for portrait, and you can choose how many renditions you want of the image. I'm just going to choose 2, and I'm going to say begin. Now, when you send this into Sora, it takes some time for it to render compared to other tools like Grok and Gemini. Those take a lot quicker to render images. Sora takes its time, but it does very good work. So let's give it a few more seconds. And the moment it actually begins rendering, you see the activity here, and it gives you an idea. This will probably take another minute and a half. So let's wait. And it's pretty much done. We can see that notification there. Let's click on dog enjoys fish. And there you have it. It's eating the fish. Very hungry looking dog. Now, beyond this, you can also use the video functionality of Sora. So let's go into this chat box one more time and let's click on image and select video instead. And let's just say create a video of a dog eating fish. Now, there's a number of things you could do. You could use the image that you just generated, or you can just start from scratch. You can also choose how long you want this to be, 5 seconds or 10 seconds. You can also choose 16:9 and all the others. So we'll just go with 16:9 for this one. It's going to create a video, and we'll just go ahead and hit create video. As usual, this will take some time. It's added it to the queue, and depending on the time of the day, this could take several minutes long. So in order to make the most of our studying, we'll take a little break here, we'll pause, and then we'll come back and see what Sora has done. And being that it's a Saturday, it hasn't taken too long to get to the halfway point. If this was during the week, it would have taken considerably longer. We can see it getting to the tail end of the rendering process. The thing about Sora is sometimes the video production may not be as great as other tools, and that is because we're using the old Sora. If we use the new Sora, you'll be absolutely amazed. So it doesn't look too bad. It seems to have just magically put its mouth through the metal bowl, but nonetheless, still not too bad a rendition. And that looks like raw fish that dog's eating. So now you get an idea of how this is done. Another thing you could do in Sora, if we go back to what we have rendered, going into My Media, you click on My Media, you see the original image versus this new one. There's a little bit of a difference, but you can always right click on that and copy image. And right here in the chat, you can just paste it in with a Control V on your keyboard, or you can just right click and you can paste. Either one works. So now that we've pasted it, we're going to say a video of a dog greedily eating fish. Again, we just hit the enter button and it's sent to the queue. And just remember, you can do this with any image. You can bring in an image externally from outside. You could bring in an image from the web and just do a copy and paste. Literally copy it from wherever it is and paste. And it's going to use this as a reference to make the video now. You're going to observe that the video will end up looking a little bit different from this one because the setting of this is obviously like in a kitchen. This we don't know where this is. It seems like it's on a table, possibly a dining table. So if you want precision in your videos and you want the subject to be in the same environment, it's best to use a still and build from there. So let's take a look at these two videos that it's created. that fish, that fish seems to be alive. Isn't that hilarious? AI seems to think the dog doesn't like the fish. And the fish mysteriously slid away. Isn't AI just hilarious? Okay, let's click on this one. Uh-oh, the dog isn't. the, I said the dog greedily eating the fish, but it seems like the dog isn't very interested in the fish. All right, with that said, let's move on to our next subject. Our next subject is Grok. We're going to do exactly the same thing in Grok. We're going to take that prompt, create an image of a dog eating fish, and we're going into Grok and we're going to paste that in, and we're going to make sure that this is set to imagine. So hover on the left and you'll see imagine. We got to choose that first, and then it goes into the imagine state, and now we can paste our prompt in and we can just hit enter and it will create an image. Now, if you want a video, you could click on this and select video and the ratio you want. But we're first of all going to go for an image. So let's hit enter and it will create the image pretty quick. Grok is so fast, it's ridiculous. And there's one image there. That's a big fish. And Grok is so incredible that it keeps creating several images in the blink of an eye. Look at all those images. It's ridiculous. You have too many. That looks like a wolf. You have so many images to choose from that at a point, you just kind of have to cry uncle and say, Grok, you win. I choose one, and you can go with one. Now, if you go back to Imagine, and you type that prompt in again, and instead you select video and hit enter, what Grok does is it first comes up with a mock image, first of all, and after the mock image is set, it then begins working on the video. But as you scroll down, you see many other images that have already been concocted. And if you wanted to turn these into video, all you do is click on the Make Video button. So while that top one has audio, can you hear the audio? It's ridiculous. So that kind of sounds like rain, but with all these other ones, look at that ferocious looking dog. Let's click on Make Video, and it's going to make a video of that. That looks like a very bony fish. That's got to hurt. Let's click that as well. Dogs are immune to these puny little bones of the fish, huh? Although it can bother them if they're big, but anyway, that's by the wayside. This is just AI. Let's not get all emotional about it. Now let's check out this one. Okay, and let's listen to the audio. It's by the river. Okay, that one was cool. Let's go back and let's see which other one we've got. This one. Okay, here's another one. Let's listen. Okay, it is so humorous. You know, AI just is just a trip. Anyway, there you have it. So we've created the same theme, the dog eating the fish. Now, watch this. If we go back to Imagine, we can go back to Sora, take our initial dog, right click, copy the image, get into Grok, and just Control V it, or right click and paste it in. And all you need do is sit back and watch this image be transformed into a video. It is pretty remarkable how you can interchange and interplay these tools. In fact, just as a side note, if you're using the writing functionality of GPT and you also have Grok, you can bounce each off the other. Now that makes a lot more sense, doesn't it? Even when the fish dropped on the plate, it's ridiculous. That looks pretty convincing. And you do know that that was the first one. Let's take the second image as well. You saw how quick that was. Just copy it, and all you do is drop it in there. Let's go back to Imagine, drop it in there. And off to the races. You don't even need to tell it video because it knows this is an image. What else do you want me to do with it other than make a video? I might as well get started without you asking. And it makes this video. But as I was saying, you can get the AIs to play off each other one after the other. Okay. Now, you can see this looks kind of wild, the way its mouth came through the fish. But it does look like it understood the assignment. So this is how, when you take a look at Sora and the image and the videos that it generated very good imagery. The video didn't really add up, but for Grok, it absolutely understood the assignment and it took it and it ran with it. Now, if you want to customize the video, you can say the dog gets mad and begins to bark as the fish suddenly comes to life. And just hit enter. And instead of the video being what it was before, like we saw it eating the fish normally, it stays like this until the video that you asked for has re-rendered. And after it has gotten to 100, the weirdness begins. Oh, we didn't hear much barking, but we did see the drama of the fish coming back to life. So you can get as you can get as wild as you want in these tools. So I've shown you how to use GPT. You can write a story, create images, how to use Sora. You can create images and video and Grok. Now, just so you know, there is another Sora, which is Sora 2. Sora 1, as I showed you over here, in my mind is rather limited. Sora 2 is pretty crazy. Sora 2 allows you to create video with very realistic imagery and audio. So let's go into Sora 2. We're going to take this same prompt and then we're going to go straight into Sora 2. This is Sora 2 right here. We're going to log into Sora 2 and we're going to get started. Now we're into Sora 2 and you can see the very realistic looking imagery. We're just going to paste that prompt in, create an image of a dog eating fish, and then we're going to hit create. And we're going to wait. It's added it to the queue. We're going to wait and see what happens. Now, as you can see, this video is rendering. If you hover over here, or click on it rather, you'll see the video in its rendering stage. Seems to be a little bit quicker than Sora 1 to have gotten here that fast. We'll give it a few more seconds. And just so you know, if you wanted to keep creating, you could create an image of a dog eating a fish in a different orientation, like landscape. You can also use some of these characters as cameos to be in your video if you want. But let's focus on the job at hand. We'll send in a second video. It's added it to the queue without much drama. And now we can see our first video seems to be in progress still. I thought it was done. Let's give it a bit more time. Well, these are all the videos. So that's an old video, and there's our video of the dog. And you can see that makes more sense from a realistic standpoint. You know, when a dog is eating fish, it doesn't eat it the way we saw Sora 1 doing it. Sora 2 makes a lot more sense. Let's take one more look. All right, so that's how that works. And if we go back to where we were in the beginning, and let's click on that, it shows that there's one item rendering, and this is a landscape view version. And when it renders, we'll take a look at it. The other cool thing, as I just mentioned about Sora 2, is it makes a lot more intellectual sense. When you take a look at this clip that I rendered, it actually has dialogue that goes with it that makes sense. This is a Christmas scene, a family opening their presents. Take a listen.
Hurry, hurry!
Whoa! A rocket projector.
A polar bear. He's so soft.
Choo-choo. Look at that smile.
It's making stars on the ceiling.
So that's kind of cool. You get the idea. Let's go to the dog landscape. That dog's hungry. Bit the entire thing. Oh dear. And you can always post your video. So I posted my video and it goes out of my drafts. And at this point, this video is now viewable in the world. So that's Sora 2, another great creativity option. So far, I've shown you ChatGPT, Sora 1, Grok, and Sora 2. Now we're taking things up a level. We're moving into some more advanced tools. First of all, I'll show you this tool here, which is called Hedra. But in order to show you Hedra, I'm going to create an image here in Grok. So let's go back to Imagine. And let's just say a picture, Pixar style of a dog smiling. I will just say a pug. And in typical style, in less than seconds. Oh, there we've got our cute little doggy. All right, we got our doggy. We're going to right click and copy that image because we're going to do something with it. Welcome to Hedra. This is the next place we're going. Hedra enables you not only animate your imagery, but it also lets you add a dialogue to it so you can make your pictures speak. So let's take a look at this.
Yes, you can. Don't be a bum. Get me the program. Show me what you got. Go like a nice friend. We're going all in. Oh,
So, not bad. It's just that the background singers aren't singing along with him. And that's why when you use Hedra, you try to zoom in on the subject like this.
trials may come and trials may go. But look who showed up. The show. Get your head out of the sand and face it like a man. Take on the battles 'cause you know you can.
And it takes a lot of credits to do songs like this. Here's another one.
I've waited all my life for the perfect opportunity to spread my wings and fly. I've waited all my life to jump off the ledge and grow my.
Okay, you get the idea. So what you would do is bring in your image the same way. So why don't we do this for a very quick test? Let's say a male vocalist in a band, close up, singing, disco lights in the background, bokeh effect. And I actually asked for a video. I should have asked for an image, but nonetheless, I still get an image from these. So I can take this, I can copy the image. So let's jump back into this tool called Hedra. We are going to click on create new. There's so many ways to do it. You can click on video, you can click on image, you can click on audio. Let's go through those real quick. If you click on image, you've got add character, you've got add speech. If you click on just the image, you've got describe your image for you to describe what you want. So I could say dog eating fish. And you got all of these options. It's using Nano Banana Pro, but you can also use any of these others. So it consolidates all these models and kind of acts as a wrapper for these models and just presents them in one place. You've also got Composer, and Composer acts like a keyframe for your compositions. You got real-time avatar where you can be the avatar controller by chatting real time with the avatar. But let's go back to video. What we're going to do here is go back to Grok, take this guy, copy this guy, go back into Hedra, and we're just going to paste him in where we have add character. It's going to put him in there automatically. And now where we have add speech, I'm just going to add my own speech, or you could upload a speech if you had it. Let's see if my microphone will let me record this. Check 1, 2. Check. Let's use this. Check 1, 2. All right. Check. Okay, let's go. This is a test to see if Hedra can actually make me speak. So this shows I will only use 44 credits. I'm going to go ahead and hit generate. It's going to take its time. And when it's done, I should see this avatar on the screen saying the words that I just recorded. Let's give it a few seconds. All right, now it does seem to be all done. So let's go ahead and see what has rendered thus far. Let's expand it and let's play it. See if this is a test to see if Hedra can actually make me speak. All right, and Hedra did make him speak in my voice, even though Hedra knows he looks like he should be singing because of the positioning of the mic and the disco lights. But anyway, that's all right. So Hedra is there as an alternative if you ever needed to do any creative work that requires a voice or requires music. And I have tons of work that I have done in Hedra. This is a test to see if Hedra can actually make me speak. Beyond that. Okay. So this, I mean, I've shown you a few so far. Here's some other examples.
I've waited all my life for this chance to shine.
Okay. So there's Hedra, there's Grok, there's Sora, there's GPT. Now we're going to take it up a level. We're going into an additional tool that we haven't encountered so far. And that additional tool, or I should say, those additional tools are a combination of Gemini, Claude, and MidJourney. So let's first talk about MidJourney. MidJourney is a tool that is truly remarkable. It was the very first of the AI tools I began to use. Now, while it doesn't yet come with audio, as you can see, it has video right now. And some of the videos are quite compelling. It does a very good job. Now, you can ask, as usual, create an image, or you can just say a dog eating fish greedily. Right here, it's set to images, and you can just go ahead and hit submit. And it's gonna go thinking about what you asked. Now, to find your item, you need to go into create over here. So we'll click on create, and it's quite quick. They've been doing this for some years now. And like I said, it was one of the original, the very first that I started using. But there you have it. The dog's in the water. That's a tiny little fish that dog on the right has. And just some rather interesting images all around. Let's click on this. Okay, very interesting looking fish. So let's right click on this and copy the image. Let's close it. And let's go back up here. And there are a number of ways you can do this. Another way you could do it is just click and drag your item. Let's see if we can do that. We can click and drag our item up like that, and it immediately goes into video mode, because now it's understanding that for you to put an image in here, you might want a video of it, and it's even going a step further to suggest looping. See, so if it's looped, it is going to create a video of the dog eating the fish, even without me asking, but I'll just put it in for good measure. Just say a dog eats fish hungrily. And all you do is hit enter or send. And what MidJourney is going to do is create a video that is perpetually looped. And this is one of the good uses of MidJourney beyond the other tools. It does perfect loops. It just takes the image, creates a video, and it keeps that video in an endless loop, which could be very helpful for those channels with the lo-fi girl or lo-fi boy. For those of you creatives who watch those channels, you know how that goes. The video never ends. It's just an unending loop, but it's a perfect loop because it ends exactly where it starts. And that's what the loop function means. And that's why, for me as a creator, MidJourney is absolutely invaluable. I use MidJourney for my backgrounds if I want them to loop. It's just so awesome. Anyway, let's wait for this to render, see the final result. So it appears as though the dog is ready to go, and it's just going to keep on, as you can see, looping round and round. Seems to be licking the fish as opposed to eating it hungrily, but it does look like a hungry dog nonetheless. So there you have it. That is the power of MidJourney. It can loop, and the cool thing is you can also extend. You can extend the video, you can extend it manually. So if I click on extend manually, and if you had another image of how you wanted it to end up, you could do that. But I'll just say the dog gets up and runs away as the fish becomes active and alive. Okay, let's hit send. And as usual, we wait for the rendition, and 10% complete. Let's give it some time. So now coming back to this image, let's click on it and let's see the extended video. The fish is, he actually runs off with the fish. Oh, the fish drops and is kind of moving. So not exactly accurate, but you got to give it to AI for at least trying. Okay, so that's MidJourney for you. Another great tool. The next tool we're going to take a look at is Gemini. If you go on to gemini.google.com, you'll be able to access this functionality. We're just going to click on Create Image, and we're going to say the same thing, create a dog eating. Let's just say a catfish this time and test its ability, because this is going into the use of Nano Banana 3. And Nano Banana is meant to be really good. I believe it's 3, or is it 3.1? I lose track of all these version numbers. But the bottom line is this latest version is meant to be really good. It just keeps getting better and better each time. Google is getting better and better at images. And there you have it. That's a catfish, all right. Yeah, a very mangy looking dog at that. But look at the level of detail. Look at all those pebbles. Pebbles for days. Quite ridiculous, isn't it? Now, to build on this, I want you to understand that Google has some other higher end tools like VEO 3. It's now going into 3.1 actually. So let's revert over here and let's jump into VEO 3. Now to get there, you go to labs.google. You need to have a paid account or at least pay for a subscription with Google. Okay. When you do, you'll be able to get in here. So let's just click on new project and I can begin showing you the craziness of this tool. This tool can do text to audio or text to video with audio. So if I click text to video and I paste create a dog eating a catfish and I select VEO 3.1, we want fast, it's going to take 20 credits. I could say create a dog eating a catfish. The dog begins to bark as the fish comes alive. Let's go ahead and see what happens. So over here you have the ability to choose how many renditions you want. So I chose 2. I'll change it to 1 now. And all of these other options like VEO 3.1 quality is, as the word quality implies, better. Fast gives you something nice and quick for social media. And VEO 2 fast is an old model, previous model of VEO. And VEO 2 quality is a quality rendition without audio, by the way. So the VEO 2s don't have audio, but the VEO 3.1 does. And the VEO 3 was the predecessor, and that one did as well. But what you're going to see, it's becoming more common that the likes of Grok can give you audio as well. So you saw how I generated audio with the video by going into Hedra and doing all that stuff. Well, you could get audio to some degree from other tools like Grok. So this is just to show you all your options. But the really cool thing about VEO 3, it made it a pug. That's cute. The catfish is almost as big as it. Let's click on that and let's listen. It's lost his voice. Okay, that is hilarious. Puggy the pug encounters the fish. Uh-oh. That is quite funny. Did its head just became its tail? Okay, you get the idea. So this is why I say VEO 3.1 is ridiculous. It is very, very accurate. So that was text to video. But you can also do frames to video, which means if you wanted, you can select photos. You can select photos that you might have uploaded. So if I want this photo to become a video, I could just say, man plays a handpan and makes music. Now, I've already uploaded the picture of me playing a handpan. But what VEO does is it takes that picture, puts it on steroids, adds some pretty amazing audio to it, and it makes it look so convincing. You can also get the images. So let's say we chose an image such as, let's choose this guy who's a blues musician. I could just say blues musician. sings Nobody Seen the Troubles. I see. No one. They ain't seen none. Let's hit enter. And while that cooks, let's take a look at this one and see what this guy's doing. Kind of wild. So what makes VEO 3.1 so crazy is it understands the context really well, and it's able to get the image to sync with the audio, and the audio is very superior. So you got to understand Google has been dabbling into AI audio for a very long time. It's not their first rodeo. So when they present VEO 3.1 or VEO 3, you know that they got it down to a science. And let's not forget that the Google tool that we see in YouTube is also extremely impressive because you can create video and audio right there in YouTube. A lot of people don't even know this, that then YouTube for free, you can create some killer audio, some pretty spectacular audio. I could not believe it when this first came on the scene some months ago. So anyway, let's listen to this guy sing the blues.
Nobody seen the troubles I seen. No one. They ain't seen nothing. Nobody seen the troubles I
Oh
seen.
dear. And he got his accent exactly as it was supposed to be, including nothing.
Nobody seen the troubles I seen. No one. They ain't seen nothing. Nobody seen the
Okay. You can have a blast with this stuff. You can write scripts in there and you can make the people in there act. You can, let me give you a very quick example. Let's go over to ChatGPT and let me say, write me a script for 3 characters in a drama skit over who ate my fries. Make it about 8 seconds long. When I'm done, I'm just going to hit that and I'm going to send it in. That's another thing you can do with GPT. Use voice to text. It will save you tons of time. But here we go. And we got, boom, that's it. So we're going to take this script. We're going to go into Flow. And we're just going to say text to video, 3 colleagues in an office arguing over coffee by the coffee machine. And just paste that in. And we could say, Maya, you could give them descriptions, white blouse and jeans, black hair, Toby, round and jolly, ginger hair, blazer, and black pants. You could go a step further and you could even have like details, so you can say plaid and then Dre wearing a cowboy hat and dog glasses. So observe the level of detail. There is character images described, three of them. There are three lines in this little skit of just 8 seconds. Now take a look at how this is going to build. Hit enter. You know what I should have done? I should have actually done it twice. So let me put this in, and you're going to see the variation when we get the results back. So let me actually get the entire thing. And while that cooks, I'm going to cook a second version. Because one of the things you need to get used to is the power of iteration in these tools. The tools are great, but you got to iterate. I said the tools are great, but you got to iterate. You got to iterate to be great. Otherwise, you got great tools and you got crummy output. Because sometimes the AI hallucinates. It does stuff in a goofy way that may not happen in the real world, or it could just sound off or look off, like people passing through people, or people suddenly they're facing forward and all of a sudden their head turns back. You know what I mean? Some really odd stuff. So when it comes to artificial intelligence, the name of the game is iterate. In order to be great, you got to iterate. All right, let's give it a few more seconds and see what it comes out with. All right, it seems like we got this first one here. So let's listen to the drama unfold.
Who ate my fries?
Don't look at me, look at his face. They were crying to be saved.
Who ate my fries?
Don't look at me, look at his face. They were crying to be saved.
Who ate my fries?
Now that's not bad at all. I can see how VEO 3.1 has gotten better. Now let's break down this prompt, because this was quite a robust prompt. And in the past, Google Veo has failed at this. So take a closer look. Three colleagues in an office arguing over coffee by a coffee machine. There's a coffee machine. My white blouse and jeans, black hair, totally nailed that. Gossed loudly, who ate my fries? And even though this would have thrown it off, arguing over coffee, one of them is holding coffee, but they're not arguing about coffee, they're arguing about fries. So I applaud the AI for not getting thrown off in the context. It says, Toby, round and jolly, there's his plaid suit, right? His plaid blazer and black pants, pretty much got that. Pointing, don't look at me, look at his face. And Dre, wearing a cowboy hat and dark glasses, mouthful of crumbs falling. And didn't it absolutely nail it context-wise? So VEO 3.1, round of applause. This is the second one. Let's listen to this and see if it held up. Now you can see it's a totally different look. It's still got the context. There are the fries all over his shirt. Now two of them are holding coffee. This is not a mug. It's a disposable cup. Different look, but same context. Let's listen.
Don't look at me, look at his face.
Now, this is a good example of the, nonsensical hallucinations that AI sometimes has. Now, imagine if I had got this first and wanted to give up. You see what I'm saying? Because this isn't following the logic, the sensibilities. So I may have to take my words back on 3.1. While it nailed it on the first one, this second one doesn't make logical sense, even though the imagery is not bad. One more time.
Who ate my fries?
Don't look at me, look at his face.
They were crying to be saved. Who ate my fries?
So they were crying to be saved was Dre's line. So he totally bummed that, but it's okay. AI is still in development, and I just wanted you to see that. So VEO is very good for skits. It's very good for imagery. It's just anything. Just think about you having the ability to create TV shows. You would have to spend a ton of credits, but it's getting to the point that with the likes of Grok, which is free, right, for this, and you have a paid version where you can create till you knock yourself out, and then you've got this, and then you've got Hedra, which can sing, and you've got Sora, which gives you options. Then you've got GPT, which can write for you. Another one which is really good at writing for you is none other than Claude AI. Claude AI is another good tool. You could say, write a skit about three colleagues arguing over fries and coffee. And it can come up with some pretty creative, wild stories. The other thing I like about Claude AI is it can iterate and reiterate and reiterate. And there you have it. And it's getting to the point where one day you'll be able to take a full skit and you can have AI act the whole thing through. So for now, if I wanted to do this, I would have to use an image to make it repeatable. So let me demo that for you real quick. If I wanted to make a repeatable skit, I would have to do something like this. Go into Flow, and I could either have my image coming into Flow, or if I like what Flow has done, watch this, I can do a print screen using my print screen, do a print screen, and I'm gonna grab this shot like that. Just like that. Boom. Shot grabbed. Come out of this. And I could do frames to video. Again, I could go into my photos and I could grab that frame and upload it, and I could create a continuation. So let's do that. Let's click on the plus and let's look for that image. Now we've found that image, and we're just going to go ahead, try and crop it better so that everybody gets in that frame. And crop and save. And now you can continue the dialogue because you got them, right? So I could do something like this. I could go in here and I can say, continue with 8 more seconds. Put that in there. When I say continue, it knows the context. So again, we're going to take this. We're going to copy. We're going to go back into Flow, and we're going to Control V that. And we don't need to put in the description of the attire because it already has that context. And we're just going to hit enter. And this could be the next in the comedic skit. Let's give it a few more moments. All right, so this part of the skit seems to have rendered. Let's expand it. One of the things that's a little bit annoying with VEO is they insist in putting their logo here, which renders it almost unusable if you're trying to do commercial stuff. But nonetheless, there are ways around it for cropping and such and such. But let's take a look. So this is the start scene. I should have actually taken a screen grab of the last frame, but let's go ahead and listen.
And now there's no coffee left.
This office is a crime scene.
Justice tastes real smooth today. And now there's no
So,
coffee left.
what do you notice there? The last line was for him, but AI got mixed up and gave the line to her as well. Now, what you would do in a case of editing this video, you would have to zoom in on the subject and exclude her because it wouldn't make sense for them to say it at the same time. But there are tricks and workarounds when you're editing what AI has done. Okay. So, my friends, it's going to almost an hour now that we've been working together. We got to shut this down so that you folks can get back to work and actually begin creating. But the last piece that I would like to show you here is just an understanding of how you can create your own website for free. I'm going to show you how to do that pretty rapidly. Now, on top of what I showed you last time in the last AI Advantage video, I showed you how you could use AI to research. So if you haven't looked at the bonus day 4, I need you to go look at it. But as far as I'll try and put a link to all of that, and I'll probably add this to the AI Advantage videos. But as far as creating a web page, let's say you wanted a web page. Let me teach you HTML 101. Best way to do this is say, build me a website using HTML for Phil's movie studios out in LA and the very best in the business. Use line of best fit data to create a robust website. Launched in 2009, specialize in everything you can imagine, and are consultants to the big studios and film houses. We direct, produce, source, and manage cradle to grave solutions. Street 123, downtown LA. And phone and email Solutions and nowherenear.com. And I mean, that's just it. Give it the basics for your website and hit enter. We're dealing with Claude AI now. You saw the minimal amount of information I gave it, very minuscule. Now, within a matter of seconds, Claude AI, it's very good at writing. It is going to take what I've given it and it's going to return to me at least a fully functional web page. Now, I'm saying web page because all the data is going to be on one page, but it's going to use its advanced understanding of websites to break down that web page such that it feels like you're on a site with multiple pages. And here we have it. See that? So if I click on services, it will go down to where services is. About will go down to about. And if I clicked on contact, and if I said, hey, I don't like the colors, use a different color, such and such, it would. But this is just the beginning. You see, with HTML, you need a conduit for it. Now you could publish, and then you could share it. But if you published and shared it, it still wouldn't be like a real website. So to make it like a real website, you need this thing called a notepad. That's the first step, right? Your notepad is where you're going to paste the code. Okay? So your notepad staring at you in the face on your machine, now is time to put it to good use. So let's get it on the code, and then we're going to hit copy, and then we're going into the notepad, and we're going to press or right click and paste, or you could do Control V if you're a shortcut expert like I am. And the next thing we're going to do is a Control S to save it, or we can go to File and Save As. Let's do that. So into File, Save As. Now, when you get into your folder, you want to save it as website.html. That's website.html. Go ahead and hit save. And now this is saved as a website. We're going to take this away, and then we are going to remember where we save this website.html. And when you get in there, this is what's going to happen. So after locating this HTML file, double click on it because I want to show you what it looks like on your desktop. It will look like this. And when you click on all of these items in the menu, it will take you to where you need to be. Now, this is all well and good, but it's not good enough to have this in some folder on your desktop. So what you're going to have to do is publish it. And the way we're going to publish it is we're going to tiny.host. In tiny.host, you can sign up for free. This is the home page of tiny.host. Okay. So we won't get into that just yet, but I appreciate them reaching out. Instead, we're going to hit upload file. And we're going to end up uploading the file that we just created. So again, you're going to know where you saved your file. And we're going to click on upload file and upload that HTML. When you click on upload file, you'll see this upload window. And all I'm going to do is move that file from here straight into there. I'm going to let it go, and it says, what do you want to name this? So I'll just say Phil's Studio Site. And it will be Phil's Studio Site.tiny.site. Note Tiny has two eyes, but it has one eye when you're typing it into the address bar. Let's hit publish. And it says, try this next, tracked sharing. I'm not really interested in that. So this is a project preview. It says upgrade to publish your link. It says your current plan allows one project. So what is happening here is in Tiny, I already have something published. So if I go to my projects, I can see that, oh dear, I have this one. I'm going to have to delete it. And now I can reload that file like that. Can put in the link name, Phil Studio Site again. Do you want to hide it from search engines? Well, you got to pay for all this fancy stuff. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit publish. It says try this next, password protection. And if you don't want it, then don't click on it. Don't click on it. Click continue. I don't think that continue will lead you to pay anything, but it'll lead you to where you can see your published site. So just hit view link and it'll show you the link, but it will also show you this, which isn't visible to non-owners. So anyone visiting will not see that. Instead, let me give you an idea of what they will see. Those visiting the site will see this. And there's your professional looking website developed by Claude AI has done a brilliant job of developing that for us. So over the past number of minutes, my friends, we have taken a look at a lot of content. We've taken a look at ChatGPT. We've taken a look at Sora. We've taken a look at MidJourney, Grok, Tiny.host, Gemini, Google Veo. We've built our own website. We've also taken a look at Hedra. Just an unending list of awesome things we have experimented with today. I want to say a big thank you for joining and going through everything. If you have questions, put them in the comments below. One of the tools that I was playing with the idea of showing you is 11 Labs. And the only reason I wanted to show you 11 Labs is I know some of you create and you need music. So bear with me for one quick minute and I'll show you how this works real quick. Go to 11labs.io. You can go to /music, or you could go to the home page. Music normally shows up on the home page, but also on the left-hand side. If you scroll down further enough, you see music. Just click on that and describe your song briefly. Do you want it to be 30 seconds or all the way to 4 minutes? And you can just say a calm bossa nova song about my favorite seafood. And just hit generate. And before you can blink, because it's very, very quick at this, apparently they've been working on this for some time, because look at that. Boom, it's just generated it like out of nothing. Pretty impressive. Let's listen to it. Not bad, it got it. Bossa Nova, spot on. Spot on. So, I mean, that could be an opener, it could be a closer, it could be music for a teaser, it could be anything. Now, with that in mind, final tool I promise for today is Canva. Canva is great for thumbnail generation. It's good for a number of things, but if you clicked on any of these buttons, it'll take you to either an email template, presentation, social media, video, whatever you want, you can find it on Canva. But let's click on social media, and here you've got templates for so many things, images like these. These could be attention pullers right there, right? You could get one of these, record some audio with it, upload it, sync them. So many great and awesome things you could do here. So I want to encourage those of you who are looking to get more creative to start playing with some of these tools. Okay, it's got some of the most amazing tools. Let's go back real quick. I want to show you a few more things. So if you wanted to use the photo editor, or you wanted a custom thing, all of these options are here. And it's got some pretty phenomenal capabilities. In the next few weeks, I'll be putting up more information about how you can use this, but just give you a very quick example under media. Let's say you wanted this, and now it's open. What can you do with it? Well, you can click on it for start. You can remove the background and leave just that figure on the screen as you saw me do just now. You could go to elements and you can click and put other things on the screen like that. You can delete things, you can add text to whatever you've got on the platform, or you can delete text. And when it comes to elements, if you cannot find what you want, you can generate images. So you can say, a man eating a burger on the beach. Very similar to other tools like AI tools. You can get Canva to create stuff for you. Okay, so I asked it to generate images, and it's thinking here of 4 possibilities. When it's done thinking, it shows you what it's rendered. And again, much like the others, okay, very appropriate, is on the beach, okay, eating his burger. And you could do so much in Canva. It's a pity I don't have enough time, but I will definitely put up a video in the future to show you how awesome Canva is. Great for marketing, great for creating brochures, great for flyers, just everything. It's very straightforward. All right, I think I've kept you long enough. Yep, it's almost 20 minutes past the hour now. So thank you very much, my friends. I wish you all the best. Happy creating. You got any questions, drop them below, and make sure you watch all the other videos on the AI advantages. Take care and talk to you soon. Bye for now.
Beautiful new day, 'cause I'm on a